family, this is Madden 18 on EA Sports. Fasten your seatbelts for one of the great divisional rivalries in the NFL. This is the first of 2 games between these teams this year, and you know it's going to be entertaining. It's the Steelers going up against the Ravens. For the call, let's send you out to the broadcast booth, where we'll join our commentators, Brandon Guyton and Charles Davis.
Larry, we are coming to you from the heart of Baltimore, nestled between Russell Street and I-395. We're at M&T Bank Stadium. The 2 teams emerging from their respective tunnels a minute ago to the approval of this Baltimore crowd. They're all set as their Ravens will match up with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Guyton. And Charles, you look at this Raven team as they get ready here. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that 2nd win in a row.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Steelers, they've got to be pleased with the start to this season. Obviously, a perfect 3-0. It's 3-0 versus 2-1, a good early season battle as we're underway in Week 4. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. So now the Ravens getting ready for their first go on offense. They'll be led out by their quarterback in his 10th year now from Delaware. It's Joe Flacco.
You enjoyed watching that game tape, didn't you?
Yeah,
Last week's game.
Good. 4 touchdowns, 1 pick.
Now, you were a little upset about the pick. I didn't know if you would play him this week or not if you were the head coach.
Hey, they got the win.
You got the win, so you're going to give him another chance?
I'm going to give him another shot.
All right. I think the ratio's pretty good. He'll try and eliminate the interception, but he wants to keep that hot streak going, throwing touchdown passes.
Now a carry here for Terrence West. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. And we get a quick peek at the Ravens starting offense.
This organization's identity for years has been its defense, but if you take a closer look at the offense in 2016, better than you might think. 17th overall, 12th in passing. They're looking to take the next step now to becoming a top 10 offense in the NFL.
2nd down, Flacco now. His throw incomplete. He was trying to get it to Brett Perriman there, and it's 3rd down. And a look at the Steelers' defensive unit.
In the NFL, when you say Pittsburgh, you do think defense. And in 2016, they ended up 12th overall in total defense, which is a good number, but not the number the Steelers seek. And if they get better play from their secondary, they'll get back into the top 10 where they feel they belong each and every year.
This defense looking for an early stop. This is 3rd down and 6. From the gun, Flacco. Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Xavier Rhodes with a pick. And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 for a Steeler touchdown. Well, it was 3rd down. Defensively, they were just hoping to make a play and get off the field, get their offense on. Instead, they did one better. Pick it off, take it into the end zone.
Well, they did what you said. They got off the field.
They're going to have to come right back on.
They're going to come right back on, but happily, right? They put the ball in the end zone. That's the way you start a game. That's the way you set the tone.
Chris Boswell now for the extra point. And he'll put it through to make it 7-0 Steelers. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. On first down, Flacco. Throw right side taken in by Wallace. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And that's going to make it 2nd and 14.
Now that was well defended, and as a cornerback, what you're taught when you see a wide receiver screen, either you get underneath the play before the blocking forms, or you're going to have to fight your way through it by getting through some blocking. That was a really nice play there.
That'll get them some of what they needed, but they're still left here with a 3rd and 9 forthcoming. And the defense searches for one more stop here after the run on 2nd down. Time running out here on the play clock. 3rd down, Flacco needs a decent chunk of yardage. And he's got his man, that's Macklin. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. 16 yards on that one and a Raven first.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
Flacco looks to throw, and it's hauled in by Ben Watson. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 10 more there and another first down.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
Play clock winding down. 1st and 10, and Flacco looking to throw. Caught left side, Gilmore. A gain of 6 there on first. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
So the play clock's running down. This is West. They're able to push forward for about 4 down to the 37.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
On 3rd down, that's West. And he's going to have the first down yardage to the 35. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
That's a tremendous group effort there because when you talk about offensive lines, the best ones, talk about guys that play in harmony, in sync, and getting things done, and they did that on that play.
Yeah, especially on 3rd and 1. Got to be in sync, and they were. They'll need to get the play off quickly. Now a play fake here on 1st down. And his throw is incomplete.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. Flacco off play action. And Watson has it right side. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 15, just shy of the 10. That one goes for 24 yards.
There's so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? That sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. And now inside the red zone, the offense will operate. They'll run it with West. And they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
Sometimes play calls boil down to philosophy. You know you're facing one of the top 10 units against the run in the NFL. So do you decide to keep smashing against them, or do you decide to throw the ball here?
And the offense readies for play number 10 of this series. Flacco here on second down. That's complete right around the 8. And he's able to get this down to the 5-yard line before he's out of bounds. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on second down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on third down.
Time running out here on the play clock. Third down, Flacco from the gun. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Jeremy Maclin, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Ravens are an extra point away from tying the football game. Bouncing back nicely from that bad opening drive where he threw the interception. Drive number 2 leads him right down the field and into the end zone.
So obviously his confidence was never lost, and that's a good thing to see, great quality to have, and you absolutely must maintain that as a quarterback. But I have to think that they're probably still on the script that they prepared for this game. Just the second drive, they've worked on these plays all week in practice. Put them to good use on that one.
That one in the books as a 12-play drive, and it's capped off with a Ravens touchdown. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. This one taken just inside the 10. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. So the Steelers offense getting set for their first drive. They'll be led out by their 35-year-old quarterback in his 14th year now, Ben Roethlisberger.
And I thought it was a really nice performance last week by him. 3 touchdown passes. I think that signifies exactly what he was getting done. He did have the 1 interception.
But that's the ratio you say you're okay with, right?
If you go 3-1, you're going to be pretty happy over the course of the season. And let's face it, he'll never blame the receiver publicly. But behind closed doors, he probably told his agent, hey, what's the deal? I should have had a perfect game.
He was looking for Eli Rogers that time. And it's second down. And a peek now at the offense for Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh has long prided itself on being a defense-first team, but if you look at the last 3, 4, 5 seasons, it's been their offense that's led them. In 2016, they were 7th overall in total offense, and they can hit you through the air, on the ground. No matter what they do, they're hard to prepare for.
Now it's Roethlisberger. He's going to air one out. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's third down. The starters now defensively for Baltimore.
When talking about the Ravens' defense, it's pretty easy to take them for granted, isn't it? Traditionally a top 10 defense, but if you take a closer look at the numbers in 2016, that might surprise you about how good they were during the season. 5th against the run, 9th against the pass, 7th overall. Once again, the Baltimore Ravens, one of the better defenses in the NFL.
On third down, Roethlisberger. And finding Fedorowicz. And he's got the first down yardage as he brings this up to the 47. And the play goes for 19 yards, gives him a new set of downs.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
Now it's Roethlisberger. And this is caught by Martavis Bryant. And he's brought down. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
And Martavis Bryant back in the fold, which delights not just himself, but, of course, his quarterback, Ben Roethlisberger. This guy, he can do it all, Brandon, able to go across the middle and stave off contact and make catches.
Sat out last year, as you're alluding to. Year before, though, 50 catches, 765 yards, and 6 touchdowns. carry for the former Michigan State man, Le'Veon Bell. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
Even with the good footwork, he'll be stopped just inside the 35. It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves him with 3rd and 5.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
From the gun on 3rd down, it's Roethlisberger. Over the middle, it's caught by Rodgers. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down. So first possession, 4th and short. Field goal's no gimme from here. What do you think about going for it?
I'm not just thinking about it. I'm signaling go for it. Let's get this, all right? Yeah, look, you're right. You know, the field goal's there, but it's not a chip shot. My big thing is opening drive, you're trying to establish momentum. Let's not stall it ourselves. Let's go get this 1st down and then continue on downfield and try and get a touchdown.
Like your confidence.
Yeah, why not? Let's go.
An update from that game going on in the Meadowlands. And the Jags, they're out to an early lead there. Remember to keep an eye on the ticker, of course, at the bottom of your screen for updates on that game and others around the NFL. So it goes down as an 8-play drive, and they cap it with the field goal.
Yeah, they were able to pick up a few first downs along the way, but they couldn't keep the momentum going all the way into the end zone.
There, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. At the end of one, 10-7 our score. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you when you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
Back with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin. It's Steeler football to begin quarter number 2. They've got a 2nd and 9 to start things out. Here's Roethlisberger. A screen to Bell. Oh, and now he bowls him over. They showed off a nice juke of the defender before the next wave could bring him down. Give him 9 yards on the 2nd down screen play.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've been okay. 2 for 3 thus far. They're looking at 3rd and a few inches. Now Roethlisberger going to hand to Bell. And he gets the 1st down here as he's taken down at the 24. Officially a gain of just a yard there, but they do convert on 3rd and inches.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. Throwing now, Roethlisberger on 1st down. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the 1st down completion.
If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
On 2nd down, it's Bell. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another 1st down with that run.
On 1st and 10, it's Roethlisberger. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. The passing game in rhythm right now for Pittsburgh. There's another first down. They go play action here on 1st down. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Terrell Suggs in from his linebacker's spot. He's able to drop it for a loss of about 10.
Well, surprise, surprise. 1st and goal at the 1. No quarterback sneak. No running play. They decide to throw for it, but the pressure got to him quickly and put the quarterback down.
On 2nd down, Roethlisberger. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Back-to-back great plays defensively. You get the sack on 1st and goal. A great job in coverage there. All of a sudden, they're looking at 3rd and goal from further back than when they started.
And the really good play callers look ahead and down and distance sequence. Now he's got to backtrack a little bit and go maybe off his play sheet to try and dial something up here.
This offense so far on 3rd down, they've been good. 3 for 4 thus far. They're looking at a 3rd and goal here. From the gun, it's Roethlisberger. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
I think that was a good job there defensively. They did allow him to drive all the way downfield, but once they got their backs to the goal line, they really turned up the pressure.
Yeah, they let him get all the way down here. Now the field shrinks. They've struggled to convert, and that last incompletion brings up 4th. Now Chris Boswell for the Steelers field goal try. And Boswell's kick is good. And the lead stretches to 6 here. It's 13-7. So they get the field goal, but making his way back out onto the field now. First month of the season, those numbers pretty solid. Does he continue that?
I think so, because when you come out of the gate this strong, that means that you have planned for it and you like the results that you're getting. So I wouldn't have any doubt that the head coach, offensive coordinator actually called him in and said, look, you're our guy, okay? We're going to continue to stick with this as long as we're winning games. You ready for the challenge? And then they presented it to the rest of the team. I think we'll see plenty of that as this season moves on.
And I'm sure he said challenge accepted.
That first down play, all you want to do is wedge out any type of space and try and create enough room. If you have to run the punter out there, he can successfully complete the punt.
Yeah, didn't get a ton there, but at least some positive yardage. And give him a gain of 37.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Now a first down carry by Bell. Showed off the juke, but still corralled shy of the 5 at the 6-yard line. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, got to like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
Inside, but nothing there. Call it no gain on the keeper, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. The Steelers on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Roethlisberger. And it's caught. And he is out of bounds here. The gain of 5 that time gives him the conversion and makes it 1st and goal. Well, they've had a great, impressive drive going here, and that pickup ensures the drive continues.
And not only do you continue the drive, which is demoralizing for the guys on the defensive side of the ball right now, but you make your own defense happy. They're able to get a little more rest over on the sidelines while this one continues downfield.
They'll try and run it in with Bell. Pushing and fighting his way in for a Steeler touchdown. Le'Veon Bell, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Steelers are going to add on to their lead. Second effort there. He was determined to find pay dirt, and he did.
I think that's a great example of what coaches talk about, a back that runs behind his pads, and he uses pads to get him into the end zone.
Extra point now by Boswell. And the lead is now 13. So that drive goes 8 plays, and it ends with a Le'Veon Bell touchdown run. Boswell on now to kick this one away. To return, here's Michael Campanaro. And a very nice return up to the 35, but was it aided by something illegal? Let's find out.
Illegal block in the back. Return team.
So that will push him back.
And now we know why he had a little extra space to run, don't we? An illegal block in the back, that penalty will move them back.
Now West. And he'll get this one up to the 26. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
I think if they want to start getting back into this game, it behooves them to get better on first down.
Yeah, certainly not what they were looking for there out of the opening play of this drive. They'll run again here with West. Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Operating out of the gun, Flacco. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
Here's Sam Cook now as he's on to punt for Baltimore. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And a fair catch called for and made at the 12-yard line. A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. A reminder, later tonight, the Colts, they'll be in Seattle to take on the Seahawks. And then Monday night, it's the Redskins getting a second straight night game as they'll head down to Arrowhead to take on KC. We're in October already. Can you believe it?
No, I can't. This one's moving fast.
Now Roethlisberger on first down. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Terrell Suggs. And they are going to take over right there at the 22-yard line.
Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball, and I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. He's had a good chunk of carries. Problem is for very little success. I don't want to put it all on his shoulders, but that's a big reason they're losing right now.
Have to be very careful that he doesn't start pointing fingers. Offensive line obviously trying. The defense is doing a nice job against him today. When it's all said and done, it's all about the guy in the mirror. He has to get it done better going forward.
See if he can look and do some soul-searching now. Here's West. And a big hit there as he runs into a brick wall right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
No gain on that run, and while this team is down, they're not out of it by any stretch of the imagination. Maybe you just have to think about a different style of running in order to get this guy going.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll set up a third down.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
From the gun, Flacco. He's got his man. That's Wallace. And he gets the first down yardage he needs before he's brought down at the 6. Coming up at halftime in a little less than 2 minutes, we'll send you to Orlando where Larry Ridley is standing by. He'll have highlights and analysis of this first half. Flacco from the gun. Wiggles free. And this is caught. Touchdown, Baltimore. Terrence West, his third touchdown now on the year. And the Ravens draw a bit closer. Well, he wasn't the guy they were initially going for, but after going through the progressions, it worked.
When you have plenty of people who can catch the football, you don't always have to go to your primary target, and sometimes that target is actually covered. Nice job coming off of that and getting it to someone who was open.
Yeah, the man out of the backfield gets in for the score. Now Tucker to add the PAT. And it's good. The deficit 6, 20-14. A drive there of just 4 plays. And it's capped off by the Baltimore score. Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Steelers offense gets ready to get back onto the field. And last time, 1-play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
A fight for the football, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the longtime Charger, Eric Weddle.
Some things you just accept as fact in the NFL, and one that is true, The Baltimore Ravens are going to attack you on defense and create turnovers and takeaways. Their secondary had 18 interceptions in 2016.
That was tied for the most in the league. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. Now, these guys hardly got a chance to catch their breath after the quick turnover, but I doubt they're complaining much.
Especially with the field position they get to start with. I wouldn't be complaining either. I'd want to get right back out there and get after them, because now you have an opportunity to make a big play. I'd say let's be aggressive and go after it.
They get the pick. Now what can Flacco do on first down? Throw right side taken in by Wallace. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Barney sold the go route really well. Thought he was going deep, then curled it back inside for a nice completion.
DBs love when they pump the brakes, don't they?
Yeah, that's really a whole lot of fun. It's almost like you said, listen, if you're going to sell the go, just go. Let's see who's faster.
He's going to go up top for the end zone. And both guys were there, but it falls incomplete. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to them.
The offense on third down tonight, they're at 50%, 4 for 8. They're looking at third in the nose of the football. Here's Flacco. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
I have to say that was a surprise call on 3rd and inches. I thought they'd try and run the football there, but you got to believe they thought they'd surprise the defense and pick up something downfield, but that one goes incomplete.
And Tucker's kick right there. It's good. And that cuts the lead down to just 3, 20-17.
You're never supposed to take a player for granted, but you almost do with Justin Tucker, don't you?
Last year, how good was he?
He was phenomenal. The one miss that he had on the season was a block against New England, correct?
Yeah, he was 38 of 39, also didn't miss a PAT.
And one thing you want to do, if you want to book him as an opera singer, you better get on the boards early. Justin Tucker can sing it now.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And he'll be out of bounds up past the 45. And a nice gain of 21 yards. You know, when I see passes like that, I'm reminded of something you and I talked about yesterday. Big Ben was a wide receiver the first 3 years of high school, sitting behind the coach's son. And then he finally got that opportunity. I think he's made the most of it.
It's always the coach's son, isn't it? But you know where it helps him? When he looks downfield, he knows what the receivers are going to do. He actually has wide receivers' eyes when he's throwing the ball.
Now Roethlisberger. Man open left side is Brown. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Antonio Brown. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Steelers get the quick strike touchdown. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here in the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
Boswell for the extra point. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. That drive started on their own 25. 2 plays, 75 yards later, into the end zone. Boswell on now to kick this one away. The return man now is Danny Woodhead. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. And the Ravens taking the field. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. Catch made there by Brett Perriman. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1. On second down, Flacco to throw. Over the middle and into the hands of his receiver, Macklin. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. And welcome back, the offensive unit. They took the timeout, and now they get set to line up as we resume action. Flacco from midfield. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Ryan Shazier coming on the blitz. He gets him for a loss of 7. Flacco here on second down. Open man left side is Wallace, complete. Ravens going to use their third and final timeout as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. Flacco. Oh, look over the middle, and he's got Perriman. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. And they pick up 25 as they convert on third.
With Steve Smith retiring, someone's got to fill the void as the #1 receiver for the Baltimore Ravens. And Brashad Perriman, going into his 3rd year, this needs to be his time.
First-round pick, of course, missed all of his rookie year with a knee injury, 33 catches last year.
He has the ability. Now he has to just go out and do it.
Thanks, Brandon, and welcome to our EA Halftime Report. I'm Larry Ridley. The Ravens haven't played their best football and trail because of it. The Steelers have come in and looked good as the road team, and will just keep trying to play hard and maintain the lead going forward. All right, let's take a look at some of the highlights from the first half. Ravens opening drive. Flacco's got to rush the throw, and it's intercepted. Rhodes going to run it back for the touchdown. The Steelers take the early lead. 3rd down from inside the 10. Flacco's going to find his mark, and he capped off the long drive with the TD. Ravens tied up at 7. Steelers have the football midway through the second. Rogers is wide open here on the catch, and he'll eventually be brought down, but not before getting to their own 43-yard line. Steelers now later on the drive. Bell's going to show off his strength, and he capped off the long drive with a touchdown. Steelers take over late in the second. Here the throw is hurried and picked off. Suggs is the one who makes the pick to give a boost to his defense. Now following the pick, Flacco's got the completion here, staying late in the second. And a quick 3-play drive ends with a score. Browns by himself here, and this 2-play drive goes for a touchdown, staying late in the second. Steelers push the lead to 10. Flacco able to get this one in the hands of the speedster Brashad Perriman. And he'll eventually be brought down, but not before getting to the 27-yard line. So that'll do it from here in Orlando. Let's turn it back over to Brandon and Charles in Baltimore.
On the return, it's Niall Davis. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. The Steeler offense now with a football first here to begin the 3rd quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else. On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, Run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
This will be a 2-yard loss on the play, and that'll make it 3rd down. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. A fake to Bell. Now it's Roethlisberger. And he's taken down, but not before getting this across midfield and just shy of the 40. A good pickup there at 22.
Nice play call, a little bit of play action right there. If you can get those linebackers to freeze for just a split second, that's usually all the room you need in order to get it to your tight end.
They'll throw on 1st down with Roethlisberger. They find some open field here. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another 1st down. It will. So here we go, 1st and 10 now. Roethlisberger with a give to Bell. And he's going to get this one down to the 30. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold him to a short gain on 1st down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run. Now Roethlisberger to throw on 2nd down. He gets this one to Johnson. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
From the gun on 3rd down, it's Roethlisberger. And that's complete to Jesse James. And he will have the 1st down across the 20 to the 19-yard line. Roethlisberger to his big target, James, all 6-7 of him for a Steeler 1st down.
Jesse James, 10 catches, 131 yards in the Steelers' 2 playoff games last year. A more than reliable tight end, a guy who can create big-time plays downfield. But let's face it, partner, you love calling that name in a game, don't you?
I do. But as we saw right there, he's really reliable on 3rd down, isn't he?
Yes, he is. Jesse James.
From the red zone now, here's Roethlisberger on 1st down. And this is caught at the 8. And he is hit pretty hard from the side as he's knocked down at the 8-yard line. The passing game in rhythm right now for Pittsburgh. There's another 1st down. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
To throw again is Roethlisberger. And caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. Martavis Bryant, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Steelers find a way to stretch their lead. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
Extra point now by Boswell. And the lead is up to 14. A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all. And it ends with a Pittsburgh touchdown. Boswell on now to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half two.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
Offense looking to avoid a 3rd and long. It's 2nd and 10. They'll need to get the play off quickly. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. The Ravens on 3rd down. They've hit on half of them, 5 for 10. This is 3rd down and 12. Time running out here on the play clock. Now Flacco. That is caught. It's Perriman. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. Flacco to Perriman, and the Ravens have a first.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
So now 11 yards to go for this offensive unit. It's 2nd down. Play clock winding down. They run a draw here on 2nd down. And he'll get this up to about the 40. 5 yards on the carry there, and it leaves him with 3rd and about 6 yards to go.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain an...
And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going down. James Harrison with a big-time sack on 3rd down. And it'll be a loss of 7. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Here's Sam Cook now. He's been terrific so far. Now a high kick, almost a pooch punt. And this will be down just on the other side of midfield. The dive unsuccessful. The big fella can't pick it up. The Steelers offense now, they head back onto the field. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
See if they stay on the ground for second down. They'll go again with Bell. And nowhere really to go there. He'll take this up just shy of midfield. He'll pick up only a yard there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 7.
Back-to-back runs, I'd say that encompassed maximum effort for minimal gain.
Minimal yardage, and now they're going to need something more than minimal on this play coming up. On 3rd down, Roethlisberger. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And they're able to get this one down to the 25. A big hitter there, a first down gain of 26 yards. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. Well, the numbers have been good in the passing game, and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, 3rd quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, a little credit.
And he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32. Terrell Suggs in there to get him his 2nd sack now of the afternoon. He was trying to keep his eyes downfield. Nobody came open.
He's trying to do everything that he had been taught, right? Every bit of the technique. But if no one's open, there is no technique except make sure you hold on to the ball as you go to the ground when you're getting sacked.
A little bit of a lower trajectory there on the deep kick, and it worked.
Had to do it because he had to drive it out low because of the length of the kick. Able to do that, got it above the defense, and over the post.
And now here come the Ravens. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. You might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. 2nd down following the run.
Hey, tight end's right. Watch tight end. 3 down.
The play clock's running down. Here's Flacco, and he whips that one incomplete there. Ben Watson was the intended target, and it's 3rd and short.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. And he's not even going to get back to the line of scrimmage. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
When you're putting together a formula for winning defense, it's exactly what we're seeing in this game. Controlling the line of scrimmage, attacking, and changing everything so that now they're playing in the offense's backfield. They're playing an excellent game.
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Baltimore. As we've got the final quarter upon us, we get ready to start the 4th. He'll start out on the ground with Bell. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
I like a guy who understands the situation. I also like a guy who you look at him and you say, that looks like a guy who knows the coach is going to say, guess what? You drop this one, you'll be carrying around the training facility for an entire week.
Maybe flashback to high school or college, carrying it around campus, right?
The old gauntlet drill, right? Anyone get the ball out while he's sitting in class and bring it back to the coach? He's in big trouble.
And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 12 yards that time at a Pittsburgh first.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
And they're going to take it all the way down and just take the delay.
Delay of game, offense.
So that'll back him up 5. So now 1st and 15. After the penalty, it's Bell. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
That'll go as a loss of 5. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football. Was that a receiver? Yeah, actually it was. There's a running back who was a receiver on the play. Ike's been spending time in the receiver drills getting his feet down.
Well, those guys out of the backfield, they got to be good, agile with their feet. He showed the agility there with a toe tap.
No doubt about it. It's like he'd went to ballet school. Got the toes down and stayed in bounds.
But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble.
I know there's no magnet in the ball, but sometimes for the punt returner, after such a scramble, it sort of feels that way, doesn't it? He has it, he loses it, somehow the ball finds its way back to him.
Atone for his sin, and you know he's taking a deep sigh of relief right now.
Hey, watch 28. Single receiver.
1st and 10, and Flacco looking to throw. That's caught out left by Perriman. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. That one good for 13 and a Raven 1st down. Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time, down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future games. Can they get better and be ready for the next time, hopefully with a chance to win?
Now it's Flacco. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. Second down now after the pass completion. Operating out of the gun, Flacco. Looking left side, that's caught by Macklin. A good pickup there, 26 yards. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
Throwing here on 1st down, Flacco. And he'll go right back to Macklin. It's complete again. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. And a nice gain of 21 yards. Defensively here, you've got the cushion, but back-to-back pretty big pass plays there. Bend but don't break, but are they bending too much?
I think that they are. To me, it'd be like playing basketball, and you put up a token press. Make sure you get up there and make them eat up some time. Make it a little bit of resistance so they can't just run it right down your throat.
And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up 2nd down.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry? Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they go the wrong way on this one. Losing yardage back at the 12. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
So the myth has been shattered. Every cornerback in the league is not just a cover corner. Some of them will stick their nose in there and make plays exactly as we just saw there. A big loss suffered by the offense after that nice tackle.
They gotta have 6 here. It's 3rd and goal. They'll need to get the play off quickly. Setting up to throw, Flacco. Now the pressure gets there, and he goes down just inside the 20 at the 19. Stephon Tuitt in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that'll lead to a 4th down.
I remember when I was a kid and all I wanted was a nickel so I could get that soda down at the fountain. And guess what? The nickel came into play well. 5 defensive backs, they covered well, allowed for the sacks.
Sodas were a nickel when you were a kid?
No, I just needed the extra nickel so I could pay the proper price.
Okay, how much were they? A dime? What were they?
15 cents.
So on 4th down, Flacco off to the sidelines. He gives way to Justin Tucker. From the right hash, it's a 35-yard attempt. Time running out here on the play clock. And Tucker's kick right there. It's good. A 4th quarter score from the Meadowlands. Now you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. We'll keep you updated on that one as it progresses. All right, so it's getting late in this one. Now, you could argue that they needed to get back within 2 scores, and they did indeed do that, but they still face a pretty uphill battle.
Yeah, even with the field goal here, it's going to take 2 fourth-quarter touchdowns now to get back in it. And that's going to be a tall order against this defense.
Back onto the field now comes the wideout Antonio Brown. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? But it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up a 2nd and just about a few inches here.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play, but what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
Here's Bell. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards, and that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so. And I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
They go play action now. Roethlisberger. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Kamale Correa. Not dropping into coverage. He comes on the blitz and takes him down for a loss of 9. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
Roethlisberger will throw. And he is is out of bounds inside the 35. A big third down conversion with a gain of 28. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people pointed out to me, this is a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship, not an issue.
Exercise those fingers. A fourth quarter score from the Meadowlands. As of now, it's the Jaguars who have the lead in that game. If they hold on, a victory there would be their third of the year. And the head coach reaches for the red flag, tosses it down on the field. He wants a challenge here. On 1st and 10, it's Roethlisberger. He finds his man Johnson. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. 7 yards the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect him to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on 2nd down. They'll go back to the ground with Bell. And he's not even able to get back to the line of scrimmage. And there's also a flag down. And it's in the area of holding.
Holding, offense.
So some holding over on the left side of that O-line.
And I know for the guys trying to move those big defensive people, they'd love for them to stay in one spot, but they move around so quick and so fast that sometimes you just have to grab them.
Now Roethlisberger. And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. Terrell Suggs in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
Brandon, more often than not, you'd say they've had his number, and we can count them up so far. 1, 2, 3, 4 sacks given up. But guess what? He's still been able to make some plays, and right now they have a lead.
So the sack, and now a 3rd and long situation for the Steelers and Ben Roethlisberger. They go play action with Roethlisberger. And he's going to go down again. Tyus Bowser, he's the one to get him this time. And back-to-back sacks are going to bring up a 4th down.
And it has been a good game for them. They haven't been pressured very much today. But on back-to-back sacks, maybe the defense is starting to figure something out.
Here's Jordan Berry now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. Yeah, this is a high kick, but it's not going anywhere. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble.
And that's what friends are for.
Right. As the returner, you know who you're buying dinner for later.
Oh, without a doubt, because he just took care of you and your team in a big way. You know, you turned it over there. That's a big momentum changer and put your defense in a bad spot.
They look to throw on 1st and 10 with Flacco. He hits his target, left side, Watson. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. Flacco from midfield. Quick slant. That's caught by the veteran Macklin. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. The Raven passing game getting in sync. Another 1st down. first down. Flacco. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
Well, when you're leading in the fourth quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
First and 10 here for Flacco. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Kyle Williams in there to drop him as the clock continues to roll. Flacco here on second down. And the pressure gets to him again.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that would look pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
Flacco from the gun. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Right, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. Not a chance at all. Way easier said than done.
Now Flacco throwing the out route incomplete. It's Watson. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. The Raven passing game getting in sync. Another first down. Flacco looks to throw. And this is caught now for a late touchdown. So hold everything here. This one's not over yet. Okay, game on. Don't go anywhere yet. You got a one-score game now. Probably going to rely on the onside kick coming up.
Yeah, they have to. It's not a high percentage play, but it's better than not having a chance at all. And that's when you put your leapers and your flyers on one side, get that high hop, and hope that one of the guys can come up with it.
And on the other side, get that hands team ready.
No doubt about it.
Tucker now to add the point after. And that'll cut the lead down now to a touchdown. A drive that time of 6 plays, and it's capped off with a Ravens touchdown. So the clock shows 55 seconds to play as they line up for a critical onside kick. Oh, the Ravens say they have it. They do have it. So they've accomplished half the mission, Charles. They get the onside kick. They do need a touchdown here, but they've got some time to do it.
In the excitement, there's no need to press. Plenty of time. They have the opportunity. Now they just need to execute and finalize things.
Back to throw. And a grab here by Gilmore. A swift move and then tackled just on the other side of midfield. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Back to throw. And that'll be incomplete. Mike Wallace, the intended receiver. And it's 3rd and short. The way he's throwing the football today, almost a surprise when he doesn't complete a pass like happened there, but he needs a few more to get his guys downfield.
Well, the way he's thrown it leads him to believe that he's going to get those completions, and that means the guys going out for passes, they'll run even harder because they expect it as well.
He'll look to throw. He's got it to West on the dump off. Just a gain of a couple, but good enough to keep the drive rolling. Working the sideline there. Good route, good catch. First down, and he gets out of bounds.
Yeah, you have to like the play calling because you have to run some guys down the middle of the field to draw some of the defenders away. They can't just let them guard the sideline exclusively. That's how it's going to work. Sidelines and incompletions to use the clock.
They'll look to throw. Finds his man, Watson, over the middle. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense, as they'll stop it with 25 ticks remaining on the clock. He's back to throw. Throw right side to Perriman, and it's caught. Ravens going to use their third and final timeout, as the clock will stop with an even 20 seconds left to go. Flacco to throw. And that is incomplete. 16 seconds now on the clock. Jeremy Maclin, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up second down. This defense has watched their lead dwindle away. This is where they really need to bow up. They executed well there.
And it's often hard after you've played really well early and then you kind of relax a little bit to step on the gas again. They just did it on the last play. Looks like they want to finish this one off.
And that's going to be incomplete. 12 seconds left.
Now we're in the situation where the quarterback's got to take full charge of his huddle. Got to totally command it, make sure all eyes are on him. All focus is locked in. Going to call multiple plays and go over different situations and scenarios to make sure everyone is on the same page.
Here comes the seventh play now of this drive, as this is 3rd and 10. Setting to throw, Flacco. And this is caught, Jeremy Maclin. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Jeremy Maclin with 5 seconds left. And the Ravens are an extra point away from tying the football game.
Obviously, the excitement level here is almost a fever pitch. Down 1, is tempted to go for 2. I say you go ahead and kick the extra point. You got the home crowd carried into overtime.
I'm with you. I do see some fans, though, holding up 2 fingers. Easy now.
Yeah, but they're not the ones who have to actually make that call, are they?
So now this will be, in all likelihood, to force overtime. And he has got it. So barring something crazy on the kickoff, we're looking at an extra period to decide this one. So that drive in total 8 plays, and it's capped off by the Baltimore score. So here comes the kickoff now, all even here in this 4th quarter. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. They'll run it with Bell. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. Final whistle blows, and we need some extra time here to decide who will be the victor.
60 minutes, just not enough some days to decide who's going to win the game.
It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. They're set for their first drive here in overtime, and this is where the crowd can really become a factor.
They've had to battle it all day, but I know what you're saying. In overtime, that gets doubled, doesn't it? At least, because now the crowd really wants to be involved and help their team, and that first drive can dictate the whole thing because they know if this team takes it downfield and scores a touchdown, it's game over.
It's been loud in here so far. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Again, it's Bell. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a third and about 3 to go. So a big play in this opening drive of overtime. Now looking at a 3rd and 3. First throw in overtime now for Roethlisberger. Going deep here for Bryant. And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a 4th down. The temptation to go for it probably there. Always is, especially in overtime. Got to punt it, though.
I think you're right. I think that you absolutely have to punt it away and trust your defense, especially play a little field position here. But you're so right about the temptation. Another way to satisfy that, though, line up in punt formation and fake it. That's another way to get it done.
Here's Jordan Berry now. On for a very important punt here in overtime. And now a high kick trying to pin him back. And a fair catch is taken here a step or two inside the 45-yard line. So that'll be marked down as a 19-yard punt. And the Ravens set up well to begin their drive as it'll begin in enemy territory already. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. Their defense did its job, got the stop. All they need is 3, and this is over.
Couldn't have done much else other than score themselves and end it. But they turned it back over to them, and now all they need is a field goal to win the game. An excellent job by the defense. Can the offense finish things off?
Yeah, part 1 is done, now part 2. It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and that'll make it 2nd and 12.
Yeah, let me puff out my chest a little bit, even though I'm not rooting for either team. That was a really nice defensive play. It's awfully fun to watch, even in an offensive game.
Flacco. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down.
They sure put the coverage guys in a stress on that one. They thought they were going deep. Ends up curling inside for a nice chunk of yardage. The Steelers insert their nickel defense on 3rd down.
Yeah, they add a DB. Play clock winding down. Setting up to throw, Flacco. Oh, and it's intercepted. Picked off, William Gay. And what a return as he brings this all the way back down to the 20-yard line. So we will see yet another drive in this overtime.
For whatever reason, neither team able to finish this game off. I know that the first thought is, does anyone really want to win it? But I think that they both desperately want to win it, and sometimes you force things, and that leads to errors.
Well, it's out there for the taking. We'll see who can do it. Out comes the Steeler offense now, ready to see what they can do here.
They were forced to punt last time, and I doubt sincerely that they'll have to punt here because they're gifted with terrific field position.
I don't even want to think about the idea that they would end up punting starting with this type of field position. Neither do they. Great starting spot, great opportunity to run your full playbook. If they want to take a shot here, they can go ahead and do it.
So the field goal unit is on the field as this is a big spot right here. From the left hash, this from 37. And he got it. The kick is good in overtime. He's able to split the uprights. Well, we thought this game would be a good one. It did not disappoint into overtime, and it took the field goal to win it.
And we always pay lip service to how important it is to play defense. And usually we focus on the big offensive pyrotechnics, right? But in this case, they got the ball back on defense, gave themselves a chance, and they capitalized on it with a victory.
And I don't care what distance that field goes from in overtime. The knees are always knocking, but he pushed it through.